All right, we're about to get things going here on Titan Reforge. We're in for another round of Serpentine Cavern and Tempest Keep. I believe this is week 5, I want to say, of Serpentine Cavern and Tempest Keep on Titan Reforge. This is the Chinese version of World of Warcraft. It only released in the Chinese region, but, you know, I'm not a Chinese citizen. I'm not a Chinese person. You can play this as a foreigner, as a Westerner. It just takes a bit of extra effort and setup work, which if you're watching on the live stream, you know, I will link it in chat, the !access command. And if you're watching on YouTube, that will be in the video description. There will be a link to a Google Doc that tells you how to set it up if you want to. Now, why would you want to play Chinese World of Warcraft? Well, it's actually pretty cool. The server is based on Wrath of the Lich King. So you have level 80 characters, you have jewel crafting, you have inscription, you know, you have your level 80 talents, but they've done, you know, a number of changes. The main, like, compelling change they did is they took all the raids from Vanilla and all the raids from Burning Crusade and all the raids from Wrath of the Lich King, and they scaled them all up to be 25 player level 80 raids with, gear relevant for level 80 characters. So they like restatted things, added Death Knight tier to Molten Core and Serpentrine because that didn't exist before. Like they added runic power to the proc on Rod of the Sun King so it fits in for Death Knights too. All kinds of stuff like that. So we have a grand total of 11 phases of raids to do on this server, and this is just the second phase. So there's a lot to be done here. I think it's very cool. I've been having a lot of fun with it. That's why I keep playing it, because it's so fun. Anyways, we also had a lot of custom, like, class changes. So Subtlety Rogue is not like it is in regular Wrath of Lich King. Subtlety Rogue on Titan Reforge is the strongest single target build for Rogue, and I believe currently the strongest single target build of all classes in the game. There were a lot of changes, but like the main big one is this new finishing move called Death Mark. You put it on the target. Essentially, the target takes 25% more damage for 6 seconds, and then when Death Mark expires, it refreshes the duration of your Rupture on the target. So you put one Rupture up at the start, and then you're just spamming Death Marks, and, you know, the Rupture keeps going. Subtlety is very good. We got the pull timer out for the boss. I'm not going to be able to explain as much as I would like to during the boss, because I have to focus in on actually doing a kind of complicated rotation with this. So give me a moment and I will show you the gear after Hydross. So let's go. Tricks of the Trade on the tank. Then we're going to wait. We're going to Potion of Speed. Whoa. They insta-transitioning it. Okay, they're insta-transitioning it. I haven't seen them do this opener before. So that caught me a little off guard. Shadow Dance coming up kind of soon. I'm going to hold this Tricks of the Trade to combo it with the Shadow Dance. My Shadow Dance was delayed because I was... never mind, I just pressed the Tricks of the Trade. Okay, we got a Shadow Dance right when it comes up. Dance. Rupture. This. That. Uh-oh. Tank death. We just kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. I think so. Yeah, okay. I would say that was like a 8 out of 10 performance for me, execution-wise. We did not quite do everything the way we should. The opening Shadow Step was delayed. Or sorry, Shadow Dance was delayed. Because I was a bit caught off guard by them moving it initially. Usually, what I was expecting was it would just stand still for a while and we would move it halfway through the fight. And then there was another part. Yeah, whatever. I screwed up a few things, but, you know, we did pretty good. I mean, look at that. 8.8 thousand. 3 people ahead of us. And we were fully single target damage. No padding on the ads. There we go. Get enemy nameplates up. I said I would show you the gear. Here's the gear. This is what we're working with. We've got 2 pieces of the Death Mantle set, so that's activating a bonus. Eviscerate and Envenom abilities deal 65 extra damage per combo point. So at 5 combo points, that's 325 extra damage, which is pretty much all the Eviscerates we do are going to be at 5 combo points. So that's nice. We got the Sweet Perfume Brooch. Shoulder pads of the Stranger. Like, a lot of these items, you'll recognize them from, like, original SSC, but they're scaled up to be level 80 versions with level 80 stats. So, like, you know, Shoulder Pads of the Stranger was an item. Death Mantle was an item. You know, the bonus on Death Mantle is like, the same as it was at level 70, but the number is juiced up. I think this used to be 40 damage per combo point. So, some things have, like, a greater degree of change than others. Whereas, like, these items, they're kind of just, like, dialed up in stats, numerically changed. Night Slayer, chest piece, that's from Molten Core Phase 1. Puissant Cape, also a Phase 1 item, but still my best in slot cloak. Night Slayer over here, and here. Belt of Deep Shadow, Death Mantle leg guards. And we have the crafted Boots of Utter Darkness from Leatherworking. Ring of Lethality, Band of Eternity, Greatness card, Berserker card, Striker's Mark, Corehound Tooth, and the Fang of Vashj. We were super lucky. I can't remember if I got this first or second week. I think I got that second week on this character. Very lucky with weapons this phase. So that's super cool. Loot we're hoping to see would be Heart Razor for upgrading my Corehound Tooth. Heart Razor comes from Solarian in Tempest Keep. Another big pickup would be Tsunami Talisman, which comes from Leotheras the Blind in this dungeon, Serpentine Cavern. Also, if we got a Thunder Fury, that would be cool, but, you know, we don't exactly have a huge amount of gold to spend here. So odds we get a Thunder Fury, probably pretty low. But, you know, that drops here. That's an item, like, you know, in original, you know, classic, Thunder Fury comes from Molten Core. In this version, they moved it out of Molten Core and they put it in Serpentine Cavern. So, right, Heart Razor would be a big item. Death Mantle Chest Guard would be really good. And Death Mantle Gloves would be really good. If I get Chest and Glove, then I can activate the 4-piece bonus of Death Mantle, which is super cool. How much different is Thunder Fury in Reforged? I would say Thunder Fury is one that's basically just numerically enhanced. It's not mechanically different. Oh shit, boss came up pretty early here. Locking in. Oh, did I not rupture at the start, or did I accidentally let it drop? One of the two. Either way, we refreshed it now. Rupture's back, everything's good. Doing deep breath. We're going underwater to avoid the deep breath. We can chill for a little bit here. With plenty of breath to not drown. Nope. He went under. Damn. Just burned that Tricks of the Trade right as he went under. Okay. Again, not perfect execution. Something happened with the Rupture. I don't know if I, didn't refresh it or what. But the Rupture was not on properly at the start, so we lost some damage there. Still looking good on the meter, though. These raids, typically, they will pay out a bonus payout for the top 2 range damage dealers and the top 2 melee damage dealers. Which, if you're going to pay out bonus for, like, damage dealers, I think that's a really fair way to do it, because some like, encounters just heavily favor range or melee or whatever. So it's kind of awkward, if you just have, like, a heavily favored range thing and all you say is just the top damage dealer. If you split it and be like top melee and top range get a payout, it feels way more fair, if you ask me. Boss is back. What's he doing? Okay. No more Death Mark. He's about to die. There we go. We don't get the payoff for Death Mark until the ability actually expires. So if the boss is within 6 seconds of dying, we do not do it. Whoops. There we go. Lurker down. On to, Morogrim. Morogrim next. One thing that is definitely different, Flying Shithawks, about Thunder Fury in this version. You asked how it was different. I said it was numerically different. The quest is different. There's no more Elementium bars. There's no more summoning Prince Thundarin, which that's kind of lame. But they kind of just changed it up. There's no more bindings of the Windseeker. You just drop the Dormant Wind-Kissed Blade off of Leotheras, and then you have to do a quest. It has a different quest. You take it to some NPC, they tell you about the blade, and they tell you gotta, like, charge up the blade to gain its power back. And then you go to either Lady Vashj in Serpentine Cavern, and get hit by Lady Vash's static shock ability 10 times. Or you go to Void Reaver in Tempest Keep, and you get hit by Void Reaver's Arcane Bomb, Arcane Blast, I can't remember what it's called. Arcane, like, lightning-ish ball ability, whatever. Get hit by that 10 times, and that charges up the Thunder Fury. And once you get those, like, 10 strikes, then you can turn the quest in and get the completed Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. And we'll see. I'm always excited to see if it drops, because I've never had it drop before. I think it's only showing nameplate for my current target. That's not that big of a deal. I'll just leave it. Not try to fix it right now. You don't have to Prage for 2x bindings, but I also kind of like that aspect. You don't have the option of upgrading it too, so it stays... Oh, yeah, that's something they did with all the legendaries in this version. You know, you get a legendary in one phase, and then in the next phase, some boss will drop an item that you combine that item with your existing legendary and it upgrades the item. So it increases the legendary's item level so that it remains relevant for the whole expansion, assuming you continually upgrade it. So that's cool. Like, you know, you invest the time and, you know, getting a legendary or get lucky and get a legendary. It's not like you just replace it 2 phases later. You know, presumably you'll be able to keep that item for the whole expansion. And they said, you know, so it's based on Wrath of Lich King. So you have Vanilla, Burning Crusade, and Wrath. If you think about what legendaries exist in those versions of the game, there is no, like, rogue-specific weapon except for Warglaives. And 2 of the 3 rogue builds are dagger-oriented. There's no rogue dagger. So the folks, you know, running the show, they said, look, that's scuffed. And they announced that in the future, they will put a rogue dagger, or a legendary dagger, they said. I don't think they specifically said rogue, into the game. So we don't know what its stats are. We don't know when it's coming, but they did say they would do that. All right, here's Morogrim Tidewalker. Let's see if we can do a big blast. No! Blasting is over. Nice. Okay. So that's just a random unlucky, sometimes you get bubbled and you're effed. However, that bubble, what it does is it stuns you for a while, then it blasts you into the air. But I didn't get blasted into the air. I had my Shadow Step available, and I was just mashing it. And I was able to basically step directly to the boss the moment I was not stunned. So then I kind of, you know, wasn't punished as much as someone else would be for that. Because I could, you know, avoid the, like, knocked up into the air and slowly fall down portion of the ability. Good. So this guy can drop Warp-Spring Coil. He can drop any of the class trinkets. In fact, he always drops a class trinket. No! Bubbled again! And I'm out of range for Shadow Step because I got bubbled farther away. Step to that thing. Go back to the boss. Alright, there was a bubble. There was a Murloc close enough for me to step to. So that was lucky. Double bubble is very unlucky. I would say most of the time I do Morogrim, I don't get bubbled a single time. So 2 in 1, very unlucky. We've now dropped our Rupture. That's bad. That sometimes happens when you get pulled off target. So, damage output on that guy, definitely not as good as it could have been. Getting bubbled twice. Nothing you can do about it. CK with 105 watch stream streak. That is a lot of streams in a row. CK, I'm so happy you, you know, keep tuning in and keep having a good time. I appreciate you being here. So we got Serpent Coil Braid and Illidari shoulder pads, caster stuff, Manter the Tireless Tracker, Fathom Brooch of the Tidewalker. So we got Mage Trinket and we got Shaman Trinket. No Rogue Trinket. We have one other chance at Rogue Trinket, which is Void Reaver in Tempest Keep. No, mind controlled. Didn't die. Nice. What are they saying? Fang of the Leviathan, Sextant of Unstable Currents. Oh, those are like two really good caster items. Fang of the Leviathan and Sextant. Alright, we're chilling here. So last week what they did on this boss is they only killed one ad, then went to the boss, just let it enrage. Oh, I had threat on that. Burned my Vanish early. So it'd be one less Vanish for the boss. That's okay. The normal strat is to kill all three of the ads before you deal any damage to the boss. Because if the boss's health gets too low and any ads are alive, like down to like 70% or something, and any ads are alive, he enrages and does way more damage to the tank. However, the tanks in this group are just, you know, Giga Chads, and they're like, F that. We'll just take it. So we kill one guy, then the boss, and the tanks just tank the damage. Which human racial do you get in Titan? Perception or PvP trinket? Actually, you get passive perception, and then you get will to survive. That's like what you would normally have in Wrath of Lich King. But then almost every Alliance race was granted a new racial that improves their damage output in some way. And the human one is called Lionheart. It's a 3-minute cooldown, increase crit chance by 15% for 15 seconds. Dwarfs get one, you know, Night Elves get like a passive haste bonus. Gnomes get something too, I can't remember. We're going. Where is it? I got confused. There goes basically the whole Shadow Dance. Rip. Alright, big boss. Step back down. Nope. Tornado's still screwing me over. Alright, we're gonna have a dance again in a moment. Tricks, dance. Push. Death mark. Use the step to get back on the ground, then move off to the side so the tornado doesn't bounce me up again. Never mind. There it is. Gosh, this is another one that's just super annoying. Death mark out. Gives the trade out. So a lot of times I will use my Shadow Step strictly for the damage bonus, and I'll just use it to juice up an ability for bonus damage. If it's a boss where Shadow Step's mobility is valuable, I will almost never use it for damage, and always save it for mobility, because that, you know, usually just works out to be way more important. Conqueror leggings, Brigand's vest. Oh, do we get gloves off of Lurker? We didn't get them off of Hydross. Gloves of... Oh, there is a Conqueror glove from Lurker. Good to know. Effortless striking. This boot is high expertise and hit chance. I think I'm good with this one as a leatherworker. Like, this is a leatherworking only one, but normally, like, most people would use this boot. Hit rating 40, expertise 40, attack power 126. So I might try to pick that up. I might say F it, my boot is good enough. Alright, this is the Thunder Fury boss coming up next. Leotheras the Blind. So I'm going to put up a stream prediction. This is the first time I'm going to see Thunder Fury drop. Will Thunder Fury drop? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, begin prediction. Okay, put your channel points in if you want to. What's the loot system of the raid? GDKP, yeah. Like 99% of the raids on the Chinese server, especially the pugs, they're assumed to be GDKP. Like, they will say roll if they are not, which is uncommon. How to play on this server? Ask Emobug. I put the command in the chat for you, !access. You can read, there's a big Google Doc that tells you how to set it up. It is a little difficult to set up, but totally possible if you want to play this. Easier to make gold outside of GDKPs? I don't really do that very much. I pretty much just take my payouts from run raid, either save them or spend them in the next raid. I do not spend a lot of time farming gold outside of raids. Oh, here we go. So, on this boss, what I'm doing here, I'm unequipping this, and I'm going to equip it 30 seconds prior. So, it won't be able to trigger again for 45 seconds after I equip it, which is 15 seconds after this pull timer expires. It should be roughly when the boss comes out. I want it up for when the boss comes out, not for when we're fighting these, like, idiot mobs at the start. And I'm going to save my Tricks of the Trade also for when the boss comes out. And the Shadow Dance. Nice. I think that's a pretty good opener. A little hard to open on this boss nicely. Evasion up. Slice. Where's he going? Tricks of the trade. This thing. Moving around a lot. Do this. Do this. A little hard for me to see what's going on. Well, I tried to vanish Garrote him, but maybe he was whirlwinding, so he pulled me out of stealth before I could press the Garrote. Good. Oh, we got the Whisper. This does not happen often. It only affects a few people in the raid each time. But when you get this, it spawns a demon that only you can attack. And if you don't kill it quickly enough, it permanently mind controls you for the rest of the fight. And you're completely apt. So whenever you get that, you gotta switch target to it and pop it off and destroy the demon. No one else can do it for you. There we go. Alright, closing prediction. Pendant of the Perilous, Leggings of the Conqueror, Gloves of the Vanquisher, True Aim, Stalker Band. We're F, dude. There's no Thunder Fury. Never Thunder Fury, bro. God damn it. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe in tomorrow's raid. We're going back on the Death Knight tomorrow. That's the plan. Whose outcome will Thunder Fury drop? Answer, unfortunately, no. Rip. This necklace. I need this necklace on my Death Knight. Strength, hit, armor pen. Pretty good. Vanquisher gloves, Conqueror legs. Never lucky. Bro, we gotta see it drop eventually, man. I'm just pissed that I don't have a single, like, YouTube video thumbnail where I can go, oh my god, Thunder Fury dropped. Okay, bro. I almost fell in the water there. Never Thunder Fury in Simon Eyes raids. Unlucky. Alright, to Lady Vashj we go. And then usually after Lady Vashj, they'll bid out all the items for Serpent Shrine. And while they're this is insane service. I mention it every time because it's so awesome. While they are bidding out the items for Serpent Shrine, they have 3 people log into Warlock alts at Tempest Keep and begin summoning people to Tempest Keep. Yep. Efficiency. That is peak Chinese efficiency. You don't see that in North America raids, okay? At least I don't see that in North America raids. Okay, maybe you guys do. Target Vashj. Maybe some people cast some like heals. I get combo points before the boss through this talent, Honor Among Thieves. This is a talent that existed in regular Wrath of Lich King, but it was way worse in regular Wrath of Lich King. The main difference is regular Wrath of the Lich King version of Honor Among Thieves only checked for critical strikes from players in your party. It was not raid-wide. So you needed to, like, specifically be in a group with, you know, the highest crit chance ability spammer classes to make it good. What it does is whenever someone in your party or raid critically strikes with an ability, you get a crit combo point. The Titan Reforge major change is changing it from being party-wide to raid-wide. So it doesn't matter which group you're in anymore. Which is... Oh, shit. I think that was an early pull. Rip. Not a good opener because of that early pull. Okay. Oh, next phase. Alright, we chilling now. This phase is giga boring. They never give me the fun assignment. Because, you know, rightfully so, I can't easily communicate with anyone else in this group, so it'd be kind of it'd be kind of grief to give me the interesting assignment. The interesting assignment is every once in a while a green elemental called a tainted elemental is gonna spawn. And it's like over the side of the, you know, over down near the water. See, there's these big steps. It'll spawn like right down there. Anywhere around the big circle, though. And you gotta kill it quickly, then loot it. And you loot an item off of it that immobilizes your character, but it has an on-use function to throw it to another character nearby. So one person loots it, then like another person stands right on like the lip of the stairs. They throw it to that person. And then another person stands right next to one of these guys, one of these pillar things, and they throw it to that person. And then they can dunk it into the shield generator to disable the beam that is generating the shield for Lady Vashj. And then once you get all 4 of those, then you proceed with phase 3 of the boss. And it's basically just a waiting game for all 4 tainted elementals to spawn. And then you just pray that people kill them fast enough, because if you don't kill it fast enough, it just despawns, and you have to wait for another one. Deemser says OG Honor Among Thieves was actually insane, though, because you could put 5 rogues in the same group, and they could all spam Eviscerate. Okay, OG Honor Among Thieves was bugged. OG Honor Among Thieves, when it first came out in Wrath, was bugged such that instead of getting 1 combo point whenever someone in your group would critically strike with a spell or ability, you would get a number of combo points equal to the number of rogues in your party that had the Honor Among Thieves talent, which is not how it was supposed to work. So you would put 5 rogues in one group, and then they would walk up to a boss, hit it with a hemorrhage. One person on average was gonna crit, then everyone has 5 combo points. And then everyone eviscerates, and on average, one of those eviscerates was gonna crit, and then everyone would have 5 combo points again, and you were literally sitting there spamming eviscerate every single global cooldown. It was pretty busted. Pretty, insanely busted, and that did not last very long. That got fixed. I remember from original Wrath, I did that in like 1 or 2 raids before it got fixed. That was way before I was streaming, so unfortunately I don't have footage of it. Alright, we're down to 2 shield barriers. Oh, tainted this direction. Fuck! I didn't even touch that mob. He just decided to F me, dude. God damn it. I didn't even touch him. Luckily, I didn't die. Somehow, that was very close to dying. Lady Vashj? Is it time? Oh, no, no, there's one more beam. One more beam. Strider coming through the middle. I don't think that's how that's supposed to go. They're kind of supposed to go around the outside a little bit. How we doing here? How we doing here? Slice and dice. We have combo points rolling on the Strider. Oh, it killed someone. Oh, wait, I saw a green thing being lobbed. We might have the last one soon. Focus this thing. Okay. Oh, Tainted Core is received. Are they transferring it? What's the deal? Lucas got the Tainted Core. Are we waiting next Tainted Core? Did something happen to that Tainted Core that can't be transferred in? There we go. Okay, we're good. Tricks of Trade is out. Heroism is out. Shadow Dancing. Mob is moving a lot, kind of screwing up my Shadow Dance, turning around. Okay, the Shadow Dance is scuffed, but we're going now. Rupture is back on. I don't know why it fell off. Too much going on. Okay. Got a good gear out there. Cloak. Get rid of that static shock. Ooh, move out of poison. Right over here. Hopefully we don't get another poison landing on us. Good. Nice. Got good stuff. Cobra Lash Boots, Coral Band of the Revived, Vestments of the Sea Witch, Protector, and Vanquisher. Okay, none of that is stuff we need, but we want Conqueror Glove. Yes, please. Conqueror Leg, we already have. We do not need that. Conqueror Glove, though. Yes, please. Mostly, you know, we're 4 or 5 weeks in. I can't remember. The tier items are just not going to be very expensive because they're pretty common. I think this phase, in hindsight, I made a mistake. Like, I went into the phase with about 36,000 gold. In the first 2 weeks, I got a lot of gear, but I spent 21,000 gold net loss. I don't think I'm going to be nearly as aggressive with spending in the first couple of weeks, knowing that, like, week 3 and week 4, just prices are going to go way down, and I'll be able to pick things up way cheaper. I'm okay waiting a week or two, maybe when phase 3, when Nax Rammus comes around. I believe, yeah, this person is for the items. Raid Conqueror Glove 1000. Excellent. Good. How was your 3 rogue arena going yesterday? Asked Mortalities. I sadly missed that part. Well, at first it was really good. The first 20 games were 50-50. We won 10 and we lost 10. But then we went on a losing streak of 9 games in a row. And I feel like we just lost our mojo or something. I don't know what it was. I mean, we were doing great. You know, 50-50 win rate doing a triple rogue arena meme strategy. I was feeling good about that. I was not feeling good when we just lost 9 games in a row. So the triple rogue arena meme strat, why it's a meme strat was, we weren't really sapping or blinding people very much. The whole idea was we do a DBM pull timer, and then when the timer hits 0, all 3 of us shadow step, ambush, eviscerate the same target. And the goal is to just off one of the enemy team members in, like, under a second. You know, either the ambushes finish him off or the eviscerates do, like, half a second later. And in the majority of games, we were successful in executing that. What we were not so successful in was the follow-up afterwards. We were not able to, you know, roll that forward into a successful kill or, you know, wipe of the enemy team. Shuriken. I think I'll go for these boots. They're kind of like side grade to what I've got. Oh, B only wants them. Let him have them. They're absolutely side grade territory. Compared to the boots I've got already. Brigands, Expertise, Armor Pen, Shuriken, no thank you. We'll go for... a lot of our good stuff is in Tempest Keep. We want the Bracer off of Solarian. We want the Dagger off of Solarian. We want the Warp-Spring Coil off of Void Reaver. We want the tier chest off of Kael'thas. So at least 4 good potential items in Tempest Keep. Serpent Coil Braid. We didn't see any super big items. You know, we didn't see a Tsunami Talisman, you know, Physical DPS Trinket. We didn't see Sextant of Unstable Current Caster Trinket. We didn't see Fang of the Leviathan Caster Sword. Hitchin says you're starting a new chapter. Hitchin's M is born. Mage? Okay, you're going the mage angle. I like that. Dude, there was a mage in my... I don't know if you saw it, Hitchins. Right before we went to Titan Reforge today, I did a Blood Furnace group in Burning Crusade, Blood Furnace Heroic. And I had a mage in that group doing more damage than I'd ever seen a mage do before. He was popping off on heroic dungeon bosses for like 1.6 to 1.8 thousand DPS. Like an absolutely nutty amount of damage I've never seen like any class do in a heroic dungeon before. Just like single target bosses. We're not talking like some AoE cheese or something. That Blood Furnace was good. I finally got the Wastewalker tunic. That was my 4th clear of Blood Furnace. My 6th instance group. 2 of my instance groups for Blood Furnace failed to clear. I'm not going back. Unless my guildmates need me to, then I would. But I'm not going back, like, for fun. Blood Furnace is unreasonably difficult. Alright, let's see. We're gonna go Alar first, then Void Reaver, then Solarian, then Kael'thas. So, the next good item we can see drop would be the Warp-Spring Coil. I'm gonna roll up a prediction for that. Will Warp-Spring Coil drop? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, no. This is off of Void Reaver, not Alar. So it's a little ways till we get to the boss that can drop it. But prediction is up. I really want to get the tunic. I think the tunic would be the most exciting thing. Because that would then activate my 4-piece bonus for my tier set. I would be excited about that. I don't have 4-piece on either of my rogues right now. I think my other rogue is at 3, and I haven't raided with it yet this week. This rogue is currently at 3, and we're halfway through the raid. You know, 2 equipped and the 1 we just got. Also, I gotta do some work. I gotta find myself a Gruul or Magtheridon to run on Burning Crusade. Hard to find a Gruul or Magtheridon that doesn't have Dragonspine Trophy hard reserved. That's the ultimate challenge. You know there's a big fucking dinosaur near... Yeah, dude, you see this? Devilsaur, Zookeeper's pet. The hunter pets are just fucking enormous. Increases movement speed, does not stack with other movement speed increasing effects. All damage done increased by 20%. Leader of the pack. Yeah, okay. A lot of classes have been, like, custom changed. Let me think if I can think of all of them. Subtlety Rogue got a big overhaul. Some abilities of Rogue that affect all classes got changed. So Rogue is you know, universally different. Blood Death Knight got a lot of updates to give it better, like, AoE threat. And better damage output. Let me think. Frost Mage got an overhaul with a new Frozen Orb ability. Arms Warrior got a lot of significant buffs. Beastmaster Hunter got, like, straight up new abilities. I'm not going to be able to remember all of the changes, because I only really care about the ones that happen to the classes I play. The Hunter pets being enormous is one of the custom changes to Beastmaster Hunter that happened on this server. If only that was on NA. Yeah, I wish. Oh, whirlwinding. I'm backing out. I value my life. I don't want to die. We do good on Morogrim. We didn't do very good on Morogrim, I think. Because we got double bubbled. That was lame. Leotheras. Oh, we did okay, Leotheras. Yeet. Big knockback. Alright, I'm going to target the boss. And not do anything so I don't accidentally pull it. Also, I'm going to translate the raid chat. Talking about something, and I want to know what. Got my combo points on the boss. That's good. They're saying, what an expert, starting yesterday's topic again. You think the knight just became clean? He just faded? You just learned to accept it? When you say that, I remember I didn't even use napkins for the drumsticks, just use fingertips. I don't know what they're talking about. What are they doing? Oh, they're killing another phoenix over there. Okay, never mind. We weren't quite as close to being ready for the boss as I thought we were. I have no idea what they're talking about. Why is Lucas is one of the foreigners, so like me. So he must be privy to something that I'm not privy to. He's talking about drumsticks and shit. Like, is he eating chicken wings or something? Alright, so we're chilling, we're waiting, getting ready. They'll put out a pull timer, and then we'll be able to react to the pull timer. You know, slice and dice, pre-potion, enter stealth, tricks of the trade, the tank. Jacko Steele says, this reminds me of PTR for Black Temple, when I went with a bunch of Chinese players and just never spoke. Yeah, the PTRs for Classic, you know, they've occasionally been very fun because it's the same PTR server for the entire world. So, you know, it's another chance to play with people you would almost never play with otherwise. Alright, Tricks of the Trade out on the tank. Good. Right back. Which way is it facing? I gotta go this way. Okay. Whoops, that should have been a... this thing. Okay. Yeet. Could have cloaked right before he died and not get yeeted like that, but that's some pretty good damage there. Pretty happy with that. What's a little difficult here is getting those transitions just right. When the boss moves from one platform to another, it's really hard to not lose a lot of uptime. And this time I did all the transitions, I would say, very well. Which was good. I gotta focus up, though. I can't go into explaining all that. Basically, I was jumping off one platform, shadow stepping to the boss on the next platform, and the only reason I could do that and not get killed by the boss is because we had our two different tanks basically leapfrogging over each other, so that there was always a tank where the boss was. The tank wasn't having to like walk slowly towards the boss location. They were just like switching who was there, so there's constantly someone on. If I shadow stepped to the boss after it moved like that and there wasn't a tank there, the boss would just turn around and kill me. Like, insta. I would just be insta-dead. So the only reason I could move like that and go so quickly between is because the tanks were doing the right thing to allow that to happen. Hope that makes some sense. Into the air. Into the air again. Almost done here. Almost done here. Holding up with some strong damage. Range classes can still DPS for a few extra seconds during that phase. I cannot. Unlucky. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Bands of Alar. Intellect Ring. Fire Crest Breastplate. Boots of Utter Darkness. Already known. I'm already using them. Talon of Alar. Pauldrons of the Vanquisher. I need these on my Death Knight. Death Knight needs those. Hopefully we see him tomorrow. The Death Knight raid. Alright, next boss is Void Reaver. This is the Warp-Spring Coil boss, okay? That's what the stream prediction, if you look, I don't know how it shows up for you guys. I assume it's at the top of the chat box. Mage is cracked? Yeah, I mean, we did good damage, but we still got beat. Maybe it's the mage from my Blood Furnace secretly playing Titan Reforged also. Just blasting on mage in every version of the game. Chilling here. Oh, I got double bleeded. Saw blade. Now I'm bombed. Frag bombed. Bombed again. What is going on? I'm just gonna walk away so I don't... It feels like it's very dangerous right now. Just target Void Reaver. Get my combo points on Void Reaver. Alright, one tank is getting those. Who's this? Druid getting those. Just aggroing them. Druid tanking? Oh yeah, Druid is the other tank. Okay, yeah. I see on the raid frame there. Oh, we're just gonna chill. Chill, baby. Chill, 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 chill. Fan of Knives, stay targeting the Void Reaver. You know, do some damage, but we're focused on the Void Reaver. You saw that Hunter Pet run towards the boss? Did it make your heart jump also? That's one of the new Hunter abilities. It, like, summons a Quillbore that, like, charges at an enemy, then charges off in a random direction. But it doesn't actually aggro things when it charges away in a random direction. But I swear it gets me every time, thinking some Hunter Pet is about to pull the boss. And they say misdirect to 1-2, so that's group 1, position 2. So they're saying Druid's tanking, basically. Alright, tricks the trade out. Whoops, I pressed a rupture there. Should have been a death mark. A lot of the gameplay of Subtlety now is kind of like knowing when to wait and knowing when to pop off. Usually, you are waiting and just letting the free combo points from Honor Among Thieves come in. You're not, like, spending for hemorrhages and getting your energy low. Because basically you really want to avoid the situation where you're at 5 combo points and you don't have enough energy to put a finishing move out and you have to wait. Because what happens then is you're essentially wasting potential combo point generation. Because every second you can be getting a combo point from Honor Among Thieves. So if you're ever sitting around at 5 combo points, that's bad. It's much more careful gameplay than, like, Assassination, where you're kind of just blasting Mutilates and Envenoms and you don't give a fuck. Dance in about 10 seconds. I want to have a very high energy pool during dance. Waiting on that dance for Tricks of the Trade. Good. Through. Slice. He's dead. Closing the prediction. Warp-Spring dropped. Nice. Nice. Warp-Spring Coil. Right. I think the other rogue already has it. We inspected them before. So I think this means we getting that for minimum bid. Will Warp-Spring Coil drop? Answer, yes. Nice. Mage is going hard. Yeah, let me see if... Can I inspect that mage's gear? This character. Fang of the Leviathan, Sextant, Serpent Coil Braid, Arcanist 3-piece, Tirisfal 4-piece. So Tirisfal is the, like, Tempest Keep and Serpentine tier set. Death Chill Cloak, Mantle, Heartbreak Charm. So they have very strong gear, but I don't think it's like Giga Perfect Bis gear. Like this, I don't think is the best thing they can have. It might be, I don't know, Mage, but like this is from the Valentine's event, which is, I think it's 213 item level. So I just assume there's something at 219 or 226 that could be better. Yeah, a Mage is doing good. You know, when you do good damage and your gear isn't, like, super overpowered, that's, like, a good sign that, like, you know what you're doing, right? You're not getting carried by your gear. You're cranking damage even with, you know, medium to good gear, not perfect gear, right? So whenever someone's doing really good damage and their gear isn't perfect, like, that's a big, like, you know they know what they're doing. That they're a good player. Sometimes you have, like, medium skill players that just have insane gear and that puts them at the top of the meter. Alright, this boss, what we really want is Heart Razor. I'm gonna throw up a prediction for that also. Will Heart Razor drop? This one, I love this boss. So when you aggro the boss, it aggroes all the trash in the room, right? So you might think, we better kill all the trash before fighting the boss, right? They only kill 2 trash packs, which are these Nether Scryers, because the Nether Scryers can mind control people, and that's pretty nasty. Then they just leave all the other trash packs and run right into the boss. All the trash from the whole room comes in, and then they just AoE blast it during the boss, which I think is great. I think that's awesome. Ooh, I did not... Dang it, I didn't get my pre-combo combat points out. I wasn't targeting the boss early enough. Okay, so we can't pre-combat Slice unless someone pops off some spells, gives us a little help here. There we go. Okay, we got 1. Let's see, probably back to Paladin tanking, maybe? Maybe just stay... They didn't tell us to... Oh, shit, too slow. I got distracted thinking about who was I gonna misdirect. I shouldn't have been thinking about that. Here it comes. Here's all of the mobs. And they're pretty much all dead. So this has one spooky mechanic where it picks someone in the group and causes them to explode like 8 seconds later. And if you get that debuff, you need to run the fuck away from everyone and not explode on them. Big loot today in TBC? Yes, Ice Coffee. We got the Wastewalker tunic. Are you talking about your loot or my loot? Did you also get big loot in TBC today? Yours? I saw it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm very happy with that. I no longer feel like I have to go to Blood Furnace all the time. Blood Furnace is extremely difficult. It's not an easy group to just like pick and go to, you know. Still have to get the Wastewalker shoulders too, though. We're not out of Wastewalker jail yet. Why didn't it not tricks? Oh, Void Form? Ooh, we got only single Vanish Phase? Was that single or double? No, I think that was double. I'm stupid. Hang on. Not Garroting, because I think the mob is almost dead. There we go. Prediction closed. No Heart Razor. Unlucky. Girdle. No Bracer either. Damn, bro. We're getting screwed. I've never seen this Bracer, the Heart Razor drop. I can't remember if I saw the Bracer drop, but who cares about the Bracer? That's way less exciting than a sweet dagger with a cool proc. Kuja asked, what Wastewalker do you need? I'm now at 4 pieces, but I still need to get the shoulder, because the shoulder is part of the, like, Bis set for the whole phase. Shoulder and glove. You want to have. But shoulder is, you know, what may be annoying to run Auctionite Crypts a whole lot, but It's not hard to run Auctioneye Crypts like it's hard to run Blood Furnace. Yeah, Auctioneye Crypts, that's actually the one where if you wanted to, you could Giga farm it in one day. On your DK raid was a Razor drop? Yeah. Razor always drops when I'm on my DK and not on my Rogue. So the Giga farm for Auctioneye Crypts, you know, there's some other items you might want to do this for also. You get to the last boss, Exarch Maladar. You DPS him down to about 20%. He starts to summon Avatar of the Martyred. Then you stop DPS on the Exarch. You do not kill him. You hold all DPS. He summons the Avatar, you kill it, you loot it, and then you just intentionally wipe the group without killing Exarch Maladar. When you come back, you res up, you engage again, Exarch Maladar will summon the Avatar again. And you can kill it again, and get loot again, and get 250 lower city reputation again. As many times as your group has patience for. Yeah, so, like, normally you would only kill him once a day in a heroic dungeon lockout, but you can do this in heroic. You can kill Avatar as many times as you want. I haven't done it on stream. I've only talked about it on stream because that seems like something that maybe would get you in trouble. I haven't heard of anyone getting in trouble for it. I've heard of a lot of people doing it, but I think there's a big difference between me streaming, doing some, like, repeated boss kill thing, and just some guy doing it that isn't streaming it, you know? So I'm like, oh, let's play on the side of caution and not do this live on stream. But a lot of people have chosen to do that and got their Wastewalker shoulders and a healthy amount of lower city reputation that way. I know the Auctioneye Death Shroud that thing drops is also desired by some classes. I don't know what other drops he has that are good. Draenic Wildstaff. He has some, like, healing leather glove, too, I think. Alright, Kael'thas. Last boss of the night. We really want to see Conqueror Chest. That's what we want.
Is a genius.
Conqueror Chest drop. Okay, prediction up for Conqueror Chest. Yes, no. Actually, what we really want to see is Ashes of Alar. Because if Ashes of Alar drop, we are going to get paid. Okay? Chemo with a hat change request. I got you. How many AC runs before you get your shoulders on the weekend off stream? Definitely on your first try. No comment. No comment on that one. Let's just focus all of our energy on seeing Ashes of Alar drop. I saw a screenshot, like someone said that it dropped in their raid, and then they said what happened with the raid. Like, they didn't bid it out immediately. They were like, we're gonna reconvene in Ironforge in 15 minutes to bid out the Ashes of Alar. And 100%, the purpose of waiting 15 minutes was so that people could put in their, like, gold buying orders and buy a fat pile of gold to bid on the thing with. Gold buying on the Chinese realms is allowed. It's not like this weird thing where, like it is on the North America servers, where it's, like, technically not allowed, but they barely enforce it. That's how it is on the North America servers. On the Chinese servers, it's just like, you can buy gold if you want to. You can sell gold if you want to. You know, that's it. And, you know, while my preference would be to be on a server where gold buying isn't allowed and it's enforced, I feel like I don't have that as an option. Between the two choices of, like, the Chinese servers, where it's just allowed, and the North America servers where they say it's not allowed but don't enforce it, I'd pick the Chinese server way of doing it. You know? Like, if those are my two choices, like, because, like, when I'm playing on the North America servers, and, like, I see other people buying gold, not getting in trouble, and getting huge advantage from that, it makes me feel like a stupid bitch for following the rules. You know? Just having this, like, weird gray area, weird, like, ambiguity of, like, technically it's not allowed, but the likelihood of you getting punished is extremely low. Like, that's how it is on the North America server, and it just is so weird. I mean, I wish Blizzard decided that, like, it's worth it to enforce this, but, you know, they seem to not think that. Waiting for that axe to get out of the group. That axe whirlwind from the devastation axe can just straight up one-shot you. So here, this fight is super cool, and we will get to do it in Burning Crusade too, and it works, you know, functionally the same. You kill these animated weapons, and then you loot the weapons. Infinity Blade, and no, not Cosmic, and Warp Slicer are what I want. Whoopsies. So these are super giga powerful legendary weapons. Look at this, 295 DPS. It's over 100 DPS upgrade on my main hand, and it's slower. So that's going there. And then the Warp Slicer's going in the offhand. And then Deadly Poison here. And then Instant Poison offhand. So the Infinity Blade makes it so when I strike a target, it dispels mind control abilities. That's like a relevant fight mechanic. Then it also puts a 5 times stacking debuff that increases magical damage taken by the target by 5% per stack. So I attack a target with this for a while, I get 5 stacks up. That target's taking 25% increased magic damage. Warp Slicer has a chance on hit. Increase movement speed by 50%. Oh my gosh. This is not good. Hang on. 50% and attack speed by 20%. It's like just a crazy giga item. Alright, we're waiting. We're just waiting. We're going to pop a big slice and dice off of High Astromancer Solarian. Wait, could we? Oh, yeah, I could misdirect. Hang on, that didn't really help me. Good. So when the mind controls go out, it's my job to go hit them and dispel them with my Infinity Blade. Usually I'm only supposed to cover the mind controls that are in melee range. Oh, shit. That's some fire bullshit that I do not want to die to. He hasn't done another mind control yet. Oh, I'm feared. Dang it. Not dispel the mind control while I'm feared. Alright, that's a phase transition. Unlucky. Warrior got mind controlled and then immediately popped an intimidating shout. So we got F. Predictions up for Conqueror chest, by the way. We got 500 points on Believers against no one doubting, which means it's guaranteed to drop because no one's doubting. Hitchin says on NA they don't care about the bots, but on CN they have everyone hating on botters and a player base that wants the economy to be stable. Yeah. I mean, I don't have enough experience on the Chinese realm to, like, comment on that, really. Oh, shit. Hang on. I'm getting screwed up. Let me not comment on that right now, and let me just do the boss. Boss is very hectic with a lot of different things going on. I would say that was not great execution by me. 6 out of 10. Self-rating. Alright, what do we got? Chest guard. There is a Conqueror chest. Nice. Unfortunately, there's no Ashes of Alar. That's crazy. Imagine, dude, not getting Ashes of Alar. Vanquisher. So if we get the Conqueror, that activates 4-piece. There's a Warp-Spring Coil we want to bid on, which we will almost certainly get for minimum, because I don't think there's any Conqueror chest. There we go, 1,000. Probably other people are interested in this. Should we go higher? Diorwyn, other rogue wants it. Verdant Sphere, I want that. I want Verdant Sphere. Let's just let the other people have the chest. We'll save it. We'll get the chest another week. We'll get the Verdant Sphere another week too, I guess. I'm trying to generally conserve my gold. Try to rebuild my wealth. Basically, pick stuff up for minimum bid, and if anyone bids slightly above minimum, we say, you can have it. So the goal is to come out of as many of these raids with more gold than we started. Looking for the Warp-Spring Coil. None of these items. Does anyone want any of these? Oh, Druid wants this. No one wants any of those. Solarian Sapphire, Warrior Trinket, Warp-Spring Coil. I don't have this on either of my rogues, and I think it's all me. I think other guy has it. Let's double check. Yeah, he's already got it. Nice. We're getting a coil. We are getting the coil. Damage abilities have a 25% chance to increase your armor penetration rating by 333 for 15 seconds. There's a trinket with 3 sockets. 97 attack power. Also reduces the energy cost of kick by 10. If there's any time that I need to do kick, like, it's crazy good there. It's normally just like pretty good, right? But if you're on a situation where you have to do kicks, it's insanely good. Is that a big upgrade? I would say it's a medium upgrade in most situations. Not a huge thing. So I'm trying to think if actually there are any bosses where I have to kick. I guess I kick on Kael'thas sometimes. Alright, that's good. So today's haul was Gloves of the Conqueror, minimum bid. Warp-Spring Coil, minimum bid. I think this is the receipts. I think this is everything that's sold. Payout of 1,107. So there's going to be a net loss on this raid. Let's see. Let me look up the Warcraft logs, see if we were in the top 2 melee damage dealers. I feel like we probably weren't. We had some good performances, but I don't think we were consistently good enough to be top 2. I'm pulling it up. We'll see. Maybe. Maybe I was. Oh, they're redoing it. Redoing it. Maybe there's more happening. Simonize 2. That's today, the 26th. All boss kills, damage done. I think we were top 2 damage dealer for melee, right? Mage, Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. One warrior beat me, and I barely edged out the combat rogue, it looks like. So I think we do get a bonus 300. Nice. I didn't think that was going to happen. So our net loss is going to be about 550. And we got 2 strong upgrades. That's good. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Sorry. 1146. Nice. Okay, that's the regular payout. Let me see what this says. I don't know. It's really close. So maybe if they don't count it exactly like it's counted here, I might not be in the top 2. ZQS, accountant, armor breaker, warlock, subsidies. Okay, so they're, you know, people who do, you know, debuffs and stuff. DPS subsidy 1,200. So I think that's 300 each to the top 2 range and top 2 melee. That would be 1,200. Hey, 300. Nice. Feels good, man. Ending the raid. Top 2 damage dealer for a bonus payout. Love that. The 300 gold isn't like a game-breaking amount of gold, but it feels good to win the prize.